After the Reef Wars had concluded, Mara Sov turned her attention to establishing a home for her people, one that would stand far better than the current homes that they have now in the Reef. The reason for this urgency was shown during the Reef War, when intelligence of an incoming threat was made known to Mara Sov. In fear that escaping the invasion of Oryx the Taken King was not an option, Mara instead looked towards preparing the Awoken for his arrival. There were no better experts on the topic of the Hive, other than the human hunter Eris Morn, the only known survivor of the first Crota fire team. With a chance to stop the oncoming threat, Eris Morn agreed to share her vast knowledge on the Hive, including knowledge of the sword logic, ascended realms, and how to create throne worlds. The Awoken then built the Blind Well, a borehole that would connect this world to Mara Sov's throne world, protected by the Gates of Confluence. Though their construct was intricate, thorough, and most importantly successful, it required an immense amount of energy just to open the gates. Nothing in the Sol system was able to produce. This gate would connect to Mara Sov's third throne, Eleusiniya, a throne world that was created with the help of the sword logic and a hint of Riven's wish magic. Mara Sov spared no precautions when dealing with Riven, well aware of the risks and dangers of making wishes. Precautions include the creation of the Wall of Wishes, a simple 4x5 grid of panels that allows a wishmaker to transmit very specific sets of wishes. This system was then combined with a symbolic language that was created for the sole purpose of making it difficult for Riven to misinterpret wishes. One night, while alone in the Queen's Walk of the Dreaming City, Mara Sov heard, in unison, several Techeuns speak. From them came riddles, as Mara would describe it, about the current conditions within the Dreaming City. Mara Sov was then able to identify from the riddles that the beings are known as the Ancients. Though not much else is known besides their self-description as being the Nothing Space Fabric, and that the Dreaming City being placed in a space that is connected to them. From here it was discovered that one of the Techeuns possessed was Kelda Wedge, the All-Teacher, one of Mara's oldest friends. Kelda was then singled out, following their exchange, and burst into a flame of singularity. Though she burned and burned and burned, nothing was destroyed around her, and for 15 days and 15 nights she was left to burn. And on the 16th day, they began constructing the Oracle engine, with the All-Teacher as its seed heart. The engine was then used to not just communicate, but also transport matter between planes of reality. During the arrival of Oryx, the Taken King, the Awoken were amongst the first to respond, engaging with the Hive fleet above Saturn. Even after using the Harbingers, it did little to stop the devastating might of Oryx's throne world, the Dreadnought, who retaliated with a form of death impulse that temporarily expanded his throne world into the immediate surrounding, causing any inessential matter to spontaneously react on a molecular level. This reaction affected approximately 15,000 kilometers in diameter with little to no differentiation between friend or foe, resulting in the complete defeat of the Queen's fleet, including the destruction of her flagship. With the Queen assumed dead and the Prince missing, Petrovenge, then Regent Commander, was named Acting Regent Commander of the Reef, who continued to search for the missing queen while also preventing the resurgence of the House of Wolves. Unfortunately for the Awoken, Oryx did not take their initial engagement lightly, making his way to the Reef and even breaching the Dreaming City's defenses in an attempt to take it, going as far as taking even Riven, the last Ahamkara. It was only with the help of the Vanguard and their guardians that the Awoken finally managed to root out the Taken Blight, restoring what was left of their city. Unbeknownst to the Awoken, the Prince had indeed survived, having crashed his ship on Mars. Following several unfortunate developments, including a failed attempt at escaping Mars, grief over his sister's fading presence, and the overall losses that the Awoken fleet had taken, Uldren Sov began to take things into his own hands. Starting with his meeting with the Kell of Kings, with the intention of orchestrating a system-wide unification effort of the fallen houses, with the hopes of using their resources to search for his sister. Uldren also allied himself with the Scorn, a group of rogue fallen, in an attempt to go against the Reef, driving his own people into complete disarray and even killing Cait Six, the Hunter Vanguard, during a prison breakout. Though the Guardians sent by the last city managed to stop the Scorn leadership from taking root, there were still Scorn forces that remained to plague the Dreaming City. With the ongoing efforts to cleanse the Dreaming City of both the Taken Blights and the Scorn, Petrovenge made the decision to reveal the Awoken's deepest secret, the last living Ahamkara. The Vanguard was made aware of its existence and current status as a Taken, leading to the gathering of a fire team strong enough to kill Riven. This was because, though Riven had been close to Mara, it has since been left aimless now that her Taken master, Oryx, is no more. This void in purpose was soon filled by a new master, Savathun, the Witch Queen, who sought ways to breach into the distributary through the Dreaming City. The Guardian fire team that was sent by the last city managed to not only breach the Dreaming City, but also free some of the Tachyon that was initially taken by Oryx, eventually reaching Riven itself in its true draconic form. And despite its wish magic augmented by vast Taken powers, the fire team managed to not only destroy its physical form, but also cleanse its blighted heart with the help of the Awoken Tachyon. Unfortunately for both the Awoken and Guardians alike, before Riven's heart was cleansed, it performed one last wish for its master, Savathun, and that wish is to curse the Dreaming City with a Taken plague. With the curse in place, Taken forces began to corrupt the Dreaming City, even managing to capture Alycinia, Marasov's throne world. With the throne world under her control, Savathun tasked her daughter, Dol Incaru, the Eternal Return, to find a way to invade the distributary. But thanks to more help from the last city Guardians, Dol Incaru and her forces were destroyed, reversing the Taken corruption within the Dreaming City. This victory, however, was short-lived, as they found themselves caught in a time loop created by Curia Blade Transform, a Vex construct that was previously taken by Oryx and gifted to Savathun. The time loop would lead to a repeat of events every 3 weeks, tying itself to the death of Dol Incaru. With the supposed death of their prince and the seclusion of their queen, the Awoken can be considered just a minute fraction of what they were, a shadow of their former selves. Recent developments around the Dreaming City may change that, and whether the call for help by the Witch Queen herself is genuine or not remains to be seen.